Hello, it's been a while since my last video, so I wanted to give a little bit of an update. If you're new here, I'm a PhD student at the University of Cambridge, and right now I'm about 1 month away from submitting my PhD thesis, which is both scary and exciting. So in this video, I wanted to explain a little bit how the process works, especially on the lead up to it, how I've been preparing for it basically the last year, and a bit about how I'm feeling about it, whether I'm stressed, I'm coping well with it, and honestly, just sharing my thoughts on that. So just to give a bit of context, since my last video, I I posted just me making some edits to a chapter of my thesis, and that's basically what I've been doing over the last, I don't know, 6 months or maybe a bit longer, just working on different chapters and implementing the feedback that I get from my supervisor. Sometimes it's making some big changes about the actual research, and others just edits to the writing, the narrative, etc. And in my last video, I mentioned I actually didn't talk because I was sick, and that was true. And if you are wondering whether that cold killed me, well, it didn't. I'm here, but I just got a lot of things on, and one thing that I'm paying a lot of attention to make sure that I'm doing okay in the lead up to submitting my thesis is just not overworking myself. So I always tend to try to do a lot of things because I'm a bit perfectionist. But one thing that I've learned over over the years, but especially during the PhD, is that you basically cannot do everything. You might be able to do anything, but not everything. So for me, I when I started this YouTube channel, I had it very clear that this was obviously not a priority. This was just something that I was doing on the side, and whenever I felt that it will compromise either the quality of my work or just my general well-being, I will take a break from it. And that's basically what I did. I was at a point where, and this is a story for a separate video that will come out eventually, but I was traveling a bit and I wanted to enjoy that experience without um, compromising on my PhD work. So I just decided to focus on that. And that's basically what I've been doing for the last few weeks. I've been being productive at work and honestly keeping a good work life balance outside of that, which I think is really important for the PhD. And this is not going to change in the next month. It might get more stressful even with the lead up to the deadline. Although actually, like, it's not a strict deadline; it's just a deadline that I've made for myself. But I really want to stick to it because I think there's a danger of just never submitting because you don't think it's perfect, and so you actually just need to commit to submitting eventually, and that will be fine. But the key thing is that I don't stress myself too much about it, and for me that's having time to go outside, exercise, socialize, etc. Obviously it also requires some planning, and I think, and I might regret saying this at this point, but I think I've done a really good job at taming my PhD, especially this last year. I had a plan, and I've basically been able to stick to it, to deadlines that I set to myself when I was going to finish certain things, certain chapters, and so I think that's really important for anyone who might be on a situation like this. But as I said, I've also tried to keep as much of a balance on like normal life as possible because it can be so consuming to just be doing, you know, these edits all the time by yourself. Research in general is not a super social job, but especially if you are in this situation where you are not really like doing that collaborations at this stage, or while you're focusing on your thesis, you're not doing that. So it's really important to have some barriers with yourself to be like, okay, you're working and now you're taking time off, and not let everything get together. And that's basically the update, really. But I do want to say that, of course, it's very exciting to be doing this. It feels kind of crazy that it's going to be over and done because, um, and I was talking about this with another PhD student, with a colleague. that I don't necessarily feel like I want to finish. Like, of course, I will be happy to finish, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot of things after it. But it's also kind of fun to be doing this. I really like my research, and I like the day to day. I like the flexibility that it gives me, and I find it meaningful. What I'm doing and what I'm finding, and it's kind of fun to work on a thesis. I've never written a book, but I assume it's a bit like that, like what I hear from writers of it's like your little baby, and that's my thesis for me right now. And so, and my supervisor was she's recently told me that I need to have a plan for what I'm going to do immediately after, like the days and the week after that, because it might feel a bit empty. Um, because I've been so focused for this for the last year, but honestly, like 3.5 years or a bit longer that I've been working on this. But luckily, I have YouTube and a few other projects, both professional and personal. So I will make sure to lean into those. And I'm also very happy that some of you have reached out to me via email or also in the comments. But I really appreciate the support, and it I'm definitely motivated to come back here to YouTube and maybe share what's the process submitting the thesis, and the day that I do it. It's not going to be anything glorious. It's going to be online, but I will also share when I eventually have the viva, defending my thesis and so on. I will share that, and of course a lot of other exciting plans that I have after that. A lot of academic, professional, career things that are going hopefully to happen in the next few months, in the next year. But also, I will want to keep the other content, like advice for university admissions, either for undergrads, postgrad, and so on, because I have seen that there's interest, and I think I can have slightly different view than maybe what's out there in YouTube from other people. Um, Maybe because obviously everyone is different, but my background as an international student, and now I'm sticking in academia, and I know that there are a lot of other academics who have YouTube channels, but uh, there's not many, and I think this is a space that can grow. So if you have any suggestions for content, please let me know. I might not be able to make them straight away because I'm working on the thesis. I don't know how much I'm going to do YouTube in the next month. I might not post any video, or maybe somehow I end up doing once a week if things go better than I expect, in terms of how busy I am editing the thesis. But for now, this is everything. But just remember to never stop learning. Bye.